Lucy Edwards, Director of Strategic Engagement at Metaport. And today we are at Kai's Realty in Boca Raton office, and my guest is Stephen Merrill.
Yes.
Stephen, you are Director of Growth and Development.
Yes, I am.
Very impressive title.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here with you.
Thank you. And you've been taking care of growth and development of Kai's company for about 8 months. So
Yes.
It's kind of young position, but you already proven that the position was established for a reason. You brought a lot of brutal changes, which were good for the company and actually agents really appreciate.
Right.
So let's talk about that. What's your main focus?
Absolutely. So my main focus as Director of Growth and Development for the Kai's company is really to support associates in all levels of their business. So whether they are a new associate, how they've been onboarded, what is their initial experience with us at the Kai's company, and how are we supporting them from day one with our various training programs. Then as they begin to become higher producers, so if they're doing 1 million in revenue a year, 5 million, 10 million, how are we supporting them along those different levels of growth? And then of course, with our top producers, learning what do they need from a personal and professional side, and how can we support and supply the right tools, trainings, and strategies for them to really excel. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I'm doing, really focusing on supporting and developing our associates.
So it's not just for top producers. So if I would like to be a top producer, but I'm not there yet, I've been in real estate business for maybe 4 or 5 years, I'm still learning the ropes. And what do you do for, what can you offer for agents like that?
It's a great question. So one of the great things about the Kai's company is the way that our business is structured, and we have phenomenal managers in every single one of our offices. So if you were an associate in that position, and let's say you came to me or to your manager, I would say, let's have a meeting, the three of us, yourself as the associate, myself and your manager, and really start to get clear on what are your specific goals. And a lot of people talk about goals, and we actually just had a whole company-wide webinar about this yesterday, but you have to make sure your goals are real to you. So we get clear first on, okay, Lucy, personally, how do you want to grow this year? What is going to mean fulfillment for you? How are you going to feel as though your cup is filled up, right? Because when that is the case, then we can push into your professional side so much stronger. So then we'd start to get, okay, is it a specific goal that you have regarding listings per month? Or, okay, you had 8 and you want to get to 15 now, let's say per month. How do we do that? Okay, what are the goals? Then we'd bring in the additional tools that we have with Kai's. And that's, again, one of the great aspects of the companies. We have such a variety of tools for wherever someone is in their journey of growth that we would then kind of custom tailor. Hey, use these 3 tools. Let's make sure you're trained up on them. We're here to support you in that. And of course, your manager will give his or her insight on that, and they're always going to be there for you every step of that way. So have a meeting, say, where are you now? What are your goals personally and professionally? And let's start to build that plan for you, kind of custom tailor-made.
What if I'm an agent who needs help, who would like an advice,
Sure.
but I am not comfortable reaching out? I don't want you to think that I'm just a loser, or I'm not creative, or I'm not ambitious. So do you reach out to agents if you see that they're struggling or they're too quiet, but they are full-time agents, but
Sure.
they're not doing well?
Sure. So it's, really a two-sided answer to that. First is yes, of course. So again, in the position of growth and development, I'm always connecting with the managers, as is all of our leadership team, saying, what can we do to further support your associates? And of course, the manager themselves will have a great pulse on this is who's in my office, where they are kind of on their growth trajectory. And hey, maybe we've seen some people, like you said, maybe they're not coming into the office as frequently, or maybe they've gotten a little quiet, but they're really a rising star. So what I would do is really say yes to that, and that we're always proactive in reaching out. The other side to this, as I said, is kind of a 2-point. As that associate, I would say, well, you have an internal limitation that you're telling yourself of, oh, I'd feel kind of almost bad, or maybe they might think that I'm not as effective as a real estate professional if I'm kind of stuck and I want to ask, but I don't want to. So the internal limitation there is don't have a fear of failure. Don't have a fear of a rejection or of reaching out, because this is a company that has the answers for you. This is a company that wants to support you. So don't ever be afraid of reaching out. Call any of us, send any of us an email saying, hey, I've got this question, or I'm feeling a little stuck here. How can we break through it together? We're always going to be here for you. So I would say, don't worry about feeling kind of like you don't have the answers. That's fine. Nobody has all the answers, but we'll help get you some of those that you need to keep moving forward.
And you also so good about putting people together. Like you create the lunches and luncheons, and you organize the training groups that everyone can brainstorm together, that ideas are just bounce off each other. So that is a wonderful way to build the relationship. And we are in a relationship business, to build a relationship not just between the agent and the client, but between the agent and the agent.
Right. And it's so important. And really, I don't take the credit for that because I really give the credit to everyone who shows up to those events, right? You were talking about the luncheons, and that's with the top producer luncheons that we've just had in the 3 counties. And that was really focused on appreciating our top producers and bringing them together and saying, what's an item of value that you're currently using in your business right now to grow in this normalizing market? And that's the key. Top producers and really producers for that instance, they are the ones who are growing because they know there's fundamental tools or strategies, whether it's just making calls, prospecting in whichever manner that is, to continue to grow. So we just want to show that support. But again, we can hold the event, but if no one shows up, no one shows up. So it's great. And I love it when our top producers show up. And then to your point, you were reflecting on kind of the coaching groups we have. So every Monday at our company, we have what's called the Stevens sessions. And all that means is we have a weekly subject. And for an example, just this week, we held one on setting real goals. And we invite everybody in the company, managers, admin, associates, of course, at all different levels to say, it's me teaching it, but I'm really here to help develop you, again, both personally and professionally. So this is how you set goals. Here's how we look back at our year in 2022. Let's see how we've grown and who we've become in that journey and how we want to project that forward. But again, I'm just there to help develop. It's up to you to show up. So I love it when everyone's showing up. We've had hundreds of associates showing up to these, seminars. It's just been a great outcome. So we're really enjoying it.
So you are not taking credit for it, but you should, because you do have hundreds showing up, and then they go back and they review the recordings and they brainstorm if they couldn't make it for whatever reason. So you should take the credit for it.
Well, thank you.
And you also have great leadership. The leadership of your company is amazing. I love Mike Poppers, and I interviewed him. And he also was my guest today at Lunch with Lucy. Christina, I met with Christina. Just beautiful people.
Yes.
They're all about being human, helping each other, helping the community, helping their agents.
Correct.
So you mentioned something really good, just such a great saying that you were talking about, that what comes first and what comes second. Mm-hmm. Like being human comes first.
Correct.
And then results and sales come second.
Correct. Absolutely. It's a really good point. And as you said with the Kai's company, I really am blessed to be with a company of such phenomenal leaders. And leadership is spoken about so often in business and sports and any aspect of life, right? But we quite literally have, I think, the best leaders in the industry because they are so humble in that aspect. They're the top of their field, but they're always asking questions to learn from others. They're always working to put others in positions of success. And to your point of, kind of what comes first, what comes second, when we're talking about sales, when we're talking about business and development, I really think it's so key for an associate or for anybody in that matter to think and focus on service over selling. Because so often, if you're a brand new associate and you just get into this business, you're hearing all the time, you got to get listings, you got to close deals, and that's how you make money. So of course, right? And we get very kind of sales focused, and obviously sales is absolutely necessary. If we can flip and focus on serving our customers, serving our community, serving our friends and family, that is where a relationship business is really built, which then of course turns into all the sales and more that you can imagine. So I think if we flip the lens, in leadership, in sales, in any type of business on service, things really start to open up for us.
And you will probably feel better about yourself at the end of the day.
Absolutely, because you've helped someone else. Exactly.
Well, as you know, Metaport and VHT, so they just acquired us half a year ago or so, and would like to talk about the marketing strategy because, and I've been in marketing all my life, so for me it's very important. And just a few words about how you see marketing strategy for your agents.
Sure. So I think there's, a lot of moving pieces when it comes to marketing. And people, again, marketing is such a buzz right now, and branding. And I think really what we just spoke about actually answers this. So we have a phenomenal chief marketing officer, Aaron Fisk here, and he and I work together quite a lot. And we speak about this often, but one of the keys is a lot of times people are getting overwhelmed currently with social media. And social media is one of the most effective tools anybody can use in their tool belt of branding, of marketing, because there's so much awareness, so much engagement there. And I think what people should really focus on is utilizing social media to, first of all, provide value, second of all, to educate, and third, to answer questions, right? So often as associates, as anybody in a professional industry, there are questions that you know how to answer so naturally, right? What is a buyer's market? What is a seller's market? What's happening in the mortgage industry with interest rates, right? I'm reading all these scary headlines, what happens? So if you just take all those kind of frequently asked questions or things you can naturally so easily speak about, just start to film a video about that. And think about the person on social media who really needs that answer, who really wants to be educated, but to your point earlier, maybe doesn't know who to ask, or maybe they feel kind of silly asking about this because they're seeing the headlines, oh, that must be what I need to believe. So you as a real estate professional, when you come in utilizing social media, video content, Instagram Reels, Facebook, whatever the case is, and you're just providing value to educate and you're answering some really hot button questions, really key topics, you'll start to cut through the noise of social media because you're going to be seen as that point of value, at that point of, oh, they know, they're the resource. And so anyways, as I go on a tangent here, social media is a really effective tool to use with that. And then honestly, I think one of the most effective, if not probably the most effective marketing branding tool is being face-to-face with people, is going out, making authentic connections. And here's the thing with that, it takes more time, right? It takes more of your time to go out to pick, okay, what events, what communities, how am I gonna get involved? And it's gonna take time for you to get to know, like, and trust others and for them to know, like, and trust you, but those relationships last. So I think having kind of a multi-pronged approach using some modern social media marketing aspects as well as traditional really helps a lot with any associate's business plan or really anybody in that business for that matter.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Well, and thank you for spending time with me today. I am so happy that you are part of a great leadership team, that your agents are definitely benefiting from everything you have to offer and from your ideas and your young state of mind. And it's great. It's fresh air. I just really enjoy meeting you, enjoy talking to you.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best in the whole wide world. And I'm sure that your agents will prosper being with you in different events and teams and lunches. Lunches are good.
Yeah, lunches are always good. And I have to thank you as well. You know, we just met recently and you have a light, an energy that is unmatched. And so I really respect and appreciate you for all that you're doing as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All the best. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.